Right, welcome. Good morning to Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Big morning edition. Senior DB the Brain Morning. We are up to bring you the best, consistent analysis that was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It doesn't get any better than it gets from here. Consistent updates na DB that was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So, I want to subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. Make sure say in the notification turn on which is all. So anytime we are content ever drop we are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, Niema Bebre and I want to see the come on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. A lot of the analysis and the we go from, of course, international break and the answer. So club football is essentially going to be back in the next series. And England match and what that means is that the likes of Reece James, Jude Bellingham, Ethan Waneri, Mo, Miles Lewis, Kelly, Declan Rice, all of those English boys now will go back to their clubs. So what it means is that Tima, your friend of Madrid, will get their star boy Jude Bellingham is going to be back. I think after international break in Madrid, they'll be ball Leganese and other games, and I'll look at that for you. A lot of the games are coming up right after the international break. For people like Chelsea, it's the running for a possible place in the Champions League or Chelsea Football Club, because Chelsea or qualify for Champions League and Reece James' performance was good. I mean, all of that, we'll talk about that in detail. We be doing come because Madrid players will be echo international break. Bad news for them. We'll talk about the fact or the issue of other goal Madrid for another left back, and they've made their decision on a particular player. You better come also that on the Madrid front. So now, of course, we'll go into team FC Barcelona. Also, Barcelona finally found the centre back pair on whatever the game against Osasuna. My catch is a same match. I mean, dicey game Kakrama Barca, giving the players on availability, the time on mobile match, and the fact that the points are still the same in a running for the Spanish La Liga title and what Barca would have to do, when the fact that Pau Kubasi is not certain to play or not play, and also on Chelsea have gotten almost all of them players back in full team training. We'll talk about that and the fact that Chelsea are just one step away from competing for the English Premier League title. Of course, comment, share the link. So share it. So thank you very much. So share link, and also the contribution that you do for us here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm really, really grateful for everything that you do for us here. Let's get straight to it. And Reece James in the first start for England in 2 years. Boy, there was a time in that 2 years people wanted Reece James to give up. And I'm sorry, but some of you guys are here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Consistently, I brought a Reece in paper. People say so when you're retired, Chelsea should sell him at a low cost on call. I've always said this, say importance as fans, sometimes we are a little bit human. We understand that say players never born, they are just like us, some emotions to say, I mean, me affecting emotionally, baby to see that it affects us, and we go through things psychologically, and we need the people around us to keep us together. Reece James for the last 2 years has been struggling, and the Reece after game now, I'll say it's been a long time. It has been frustrating. Now all trying to beat me up on my mind game, and he has been able to come in there to come and play some good football. It looks as if said, as some people see every time say when him coach be and I say open coach be as and I say coach be with nipa, like as in when you play and I say coach, Emma confident, you play well under him. And when you watch Reece James play under Thomas Tuchel, it looks like that. It looks as if say Reece James if he or twice as tall as Abrantia as anybody on the field of play when he plays for England under Thomas Tuchel, because I said Thomas Tuchel make things happen for him. Thomas Tuchel allows him to do the things that he has to do. There is a lot of confidence, and in the first start he went in there again. Yes, Thomas Tuchel, let's our pre-match press conference said the boy is a right back for him. But the modern game essentially is about fluidity. There is no way a player plays just one position throughout the 90 minutes of a game. Most of the time, some of these key players, they are very fluid, very dynamic, playing different positions throughout the game. And that's what Reece James say. Chelsea fans maybe can say, oh, Enzo Maresca inverted Reece James, then Kwasi tactics, no Nime Jumane Sani Manemano. Yesterday in the game, you could see Reece James playing as right centre back, at left centre back at some point in time, Miles Lewis Kelly, and as an inverted right back at some point in time. So it's the fluidity, and it happens everywhere. And I've said several times that the positioning and role of Reece James is based on his health. I am very certain Chelsea medical team, sent information to Thomas Tuchel and they said, boy, yet so a fullback, but you can't play him as a conventional fullback or go up and down the touchline. Oh yes, sir, you will risk he having another injury again. Into 18 years and managing him because your struggles he keep you boy fit and you need to manage him. And then now he capped that performance with an excellent free kick. An excellent free kick from my brand here friend Reece James, and the first goal for the Three Lions of England. Now necessary should go for England, or no so should go for England. And the James family normally is scorers for the Three Lions, and the Three Lions is considered respectively over there for themselves. After that, he was the man of the match. Reece James, man of the match on the day. And Osimhen, solid performance from my brand here. Your friend Reece James, you give him a lot of credit. You dove your hearts for him, given the work that he has been able to do over there for Tima, your friend, the Three Lions of England. And what that means is that he is going to go back and then play. A lot of star players in here will be going back. Of course, the Spanish boys are now going back also. With respect to games nearby Costa, there's going to be Lamine Yamal will go back to Barcelona. Jude Bellingham was going back to go and play against Tima, your friend FC Real Madrid over there, and with everything that's going on. The only not so good news about Madrid in this transfer, in this international break here, is the fact that Abrantia, your friend Thibaut Courtois, echo international break, when you have a slight injury, slight muscle problem, and a Thibaut Courtois away at the international break, but it looks as if he is going to be back and maybe play. It was a light or slight muscle strain, but is expected to be fine against Leganés. And that is what Thibaut Courtois an issue over there when he went for the international break. Apart from that, almost all of the Madrid players were fine. Madrid next game against Leganés, there's going to be Real Sociedad also in there for themselves. Madrid for say almost a cover left back, or no, the Madrid any main competition for Brentford friend Ferland Mendy at left back. In fact, at right back, it is a done deal. Trent Alexander-Arnold be the next Madrid right back to understudy and play next to a Brentford friend Dani Carvajal in the whites of Real Madrid. It is done. Relevo. A lot of the outlets in Spain are reporting say it was in January in a Madrid VVS deal. They offering something to team and friend in Liverpool was only to give Liverpool something and test the waters if they will allow him go in January. But of course, Liverpool are always going to turn in that for a club the magnitude of Liverpool. They were not going to be coward into selling player better Trent Alexander-Arnold for that amount of money. Time now Kylian Mbappe or Paris Saint-Germain Madrid for the pen. And I remember the time when Madrid sent money to Paris Saint-Germain for people kept on saying, oh, Argentina, Nazar, El Khalifi, and Giscano, Nesanko, Giscano, and Hong Kong, and all of those things now. Of course, now people understand that these clubs, there's a lot of ego, there's a lot of things that goes on in there, and say, can you pin out that they see it as disrespect to the brand of the club, and they are not going to take it. And that's why Liverpool for Nanjiska for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it looks as if say Obeko free in the summer. And as it stands now, Madrid officially a position on in a place where they are saying they are going for a Brentford friend Dean Huijsen. I mean, top player Dean Huijsen in terms of what he's going to give to them. I mean, Madrid are now convinced in their mind say he's a centre back that they need, but that doesn't mean say Madrid for any confidence in a Brentford friend Eder Militao, top player. The injury issues now have been a little bit on and off kakra. I mean, for almost a year and a half, he has been in and out of the surgery room with ACLs left back center. And it's but when Dean Huijsen comes, it only gives Madrid the cover that they need. And as somebody who can play out from the back and do the job for 50 million from Bournemouth, I think it could be done. I know it's a club that Chelsea are all looking at Dean Huijsen, but McCann has said several times two things from the Chelsea point of view. Chelsea need more experience. What did Mamadou say about 19 years of age? There's Levi Cole, there is Wesley Fofana, there's Tosin Adrebia, who's the oldest of the lot. What you don't need, there's already Benoit Belachil, Oberton Axel de Sassi, Oberton Trevor Chalobah. What you don't need is adding another very young centre back. You need some experience, cool, calm heads with Jordan. to be able to steady the ship and help the team in terms of defense and ball. It's something that's very, very important for Chelsea. So I don't think Chelsea go to Brent and Dean Henderson. Yes, they'll try, but I think Madrid are even going to get a job over there. So Madrid for an air left back after Trent Alexander-Arnold Eber into the team this summer. And I'm contacted several players, key players, and of course, two things that Madrid air Madrid for an one. Player or favorable contact our team the contract say go that's about we will meet me for free visa or that's what they want, or player or a young player that they can bring in to come and compete or Madrid want Dean Hudson and they are liking him more and more. The performances with Spain have really impressed the club over there for FC Real Madrid, and that's something that they are looking at bringing in from Barca, your friend Dean Hudson over there for the club that's going to see Real Madrid, and we wait to see if Madrid are going to go in and then do the job for him. Like I said, Spanish La Liga is still on, and now that everybody is coming, will be our edge and the 25th of March. And in the next 2 days, there's going to be a big game. Tuesday, there's going to be Wednesday, Thursday. There's a big game for team my friend FC Barcelona. Some match Charles Minero on the night where they had to go and play against team my friend Osasuna. Now today, team your friend FC Barcelona would have to prepare themselves. Football Club Barcelona would have to prepare themselves right after said players for international break up and someone prepared on there were players in training who had prepared and started training with team and friend of Barcelona. And then see there are two things that are going on at Barcelona. One, it looks as if Hansi Flick and decided say he won't risk a brand here friend Paul Kubasi on your side, on Reece Paul Kubasi cry. What Hans Dieter Flick wants to do, and they say the center back pair, it looks as if they come at you, a brand here, your friend Eric Garcia and Inigo Martinez. Now, if you go in front of Sport or Barca anymore, in front of Sport or Sports newspaper anymore, almost say center back solution. Of course, Ronald Araújo far away in Uruguay, playing in South America in the World Cup qualifiers. Also, there is a brand here, Jeffreno and Paul Kubasi, who had some slight injury, and Barca want to risk him into the solution central, about every team where a friend of Barcelona on them, and that is it. It looks as if Sebeya Brent Inigo Martinez and your Brent and your friend Eric Garcia, a center back player, Barca and fan border. Barca and Fast center back player and border between the two, ball together that or Barca ever before, but that's the solution that they would have to go on. In front of Mundo Deportivo, or not sure was a Frankie de Jong wants to stay at FC Barcelona. Of course, who would want to stay at Barcelona? Yama Kuye, or more results, or more goals, or more winning matches, or more Champions League, or more Copa del Rey, or meeting at League, I mean, everything is going on well at FC Barcelona at the moment. So everybody wants to stay. And Frankie de Jong will want to stay, but Barca for one of them, they are not rushing it all. So years ago during COVID, Frankie de Jong decided to stay. Even at a time where Barca would have loved to sell him and make some profit off him, he still decided to stay. Eric Ten Hag, A3, Ajax Amsterdam, Akko Manchester United. He tried to convince the boy to come with him. He decided to stay. It got to a point where Frankie de Jong was tired because of how he was treated at Barcelona. The contract extensions was halted because of the injury by now he's fully fit. The not so good thing is that Barca or Casado, or Bernal, or Gavi, all of those players can play in that area where Abrantia friend Frankie de Jong plays. But really, to be very honest with you, Casado has been more erratic and he doesn't have the calm head on that steady shoulder that Frankie de Jong in terms of tempo controlling our parking in Fiifi. I don't think Brentia, your friend Marc Casado, is on that level of Frankie de Jong just yet. Even Marc Bernal, somebody that I had seen earlier and I said, oh, this guy stop and can go to the very top. Yes, he is the new Sergio Busquets, but all of them would have to study our Brentia friend Frankie de Jong. And of course, Gavi is more box to box in my opinion. And Enunti, he is not direct replacement for Abrantia friend Frankie de Jong. Barca would also want to extend the contract of Abrantia and your friend Frankie de Jong. But the truth of the matter is that they are not in a rush because they think they have options. And they will leave that decision to coach your friend Hansi Dieter Flick. Not will make his decision as to if he wants to keep in Abrantia your friend Frankie de Jong or not for him to stay in there. And right after the international break from this weekend and this Thursday, a big run in the various leagues, for a lot of clubs, which say Chelsea Football Club, it's essentially about getting Champions League football, and at Chelsea for say on Sabeka. The good thing is that international break, I end for most of the Chelsea players. And all of the players looks like they are fit. Mark Cucurella, no injury. Reece James, no injury. Wesley Fofana, one cup France. Nkuku, one cup France. What's his name? Nicholas Jackson, fit again. Noni Madueke, fit again. Jadon Sancho, there. Levi Cole, fit. Cole Palmer, Wareste coming back after that game. Romeo Lavia and now Chelsea posted training pictures, and our brand here, a friend of Romeo Lavia was right there. Moise Caicedo won the last game. Enzo Fernandez last game. Then they travel back to England to come and start with them. And Marion said this weekend Chelsea were big London derby against team friend Tottenham Hotspur. Osimhen the first one away at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But initially this time it solidifies their place in a quest for Champions League. Marion said Newcastle just about 2 points behind Chelsea, but more one game in hand because on last weekend Omokoko boy in FA Cup Carabao Cup final. It's something that's really important, and Chelsea are trying to right after international break go straight into it and then try to win and qualify for the Champions League. It's not going to be easy, but McCann several times said you look at the quality that is at the disposal of Chelsea. If they don't get any injury for the next 10 weeks, the next 11 to 12 weeks, I think Chelsea has enough. I don't think Enzo Maresca on Instagram and oko posti baby or honum knowing say Barca retain it to come and play with respect to the football that's coming back now. He went onto his Instagram and oko posti a picture of Chelsea players playing a little huddle after so much ago. Reece James, Caicedo, Cucurella, Chalobah, Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer, denying that huddle. And this is what he said. Also, the hard work never stops, even during international breaks. Fourth in the Premier League, quarterfinals of the UEFA Conference League, FIFA Club World Cup, together with our fans all over the world. Let's keep the blue flag flying. Trying to rally Chelsea fans behind him at Trump. Still, the work is going on. We are pushing in and make sure they'll get results right after the international break. Come on, and of course, there's some underlying data that proves that Chelsea are doing some good stuff over there. And then XG philosophy, I matriculate several times the XG the expected goals in terms of chances created team, and it gives a semblance of the number of or the quality of chances the team be creating. I don't sure say the team is better than the other. After the XG, you need a conversion rate, you need a final ball, signing money are there. So it's just one metric that tells you how it's important in terms of chance creation, how a team is doing well in terms of open play, chance creation, and that is exactly where Chelsea we can even go down and talk about non-penalty XG. And I know XG, our English Premier League name, best attacks this season, most XGs created. Liverpool 71.8 XG, Chelsea 59.76, Man City 57.02 in terms of the XGs teams creating. So it is clear Chelsea for Juma, and they are playing very well. I've said several times that Chelsea are a box dominant striker away from competing for the title. So when you're one box dominant striker, obetimi 15 goals, or you're aggressive, obetimi winning duels or boxing, obetimi very combative. Now we're free for ball, or you're aggressive. If you have somebody like that in the box, then definitely you are really going to the very top in terms of getting something out of games, and that's exactly what Chelsea Everton over the summer in terms of strikers. Eddie Beba team, Chelsea just a box dominant striker away from doing something monumental over there for themselves, given how the season is going. 9 more games to get something out of the very lot from Chelsea Football Club, and we'll see how things are going to go on from there in terms of the quality of play and what Chelsea want for themselves now. My catcher said Chelsea for a pushy some deals in term, because for them it's about going back to the Club World Cup and hoping some bit me to go and finish up everything that they want to do, because Club World Cup give them an opportunity to go and play some good football, and then also get something in the bank, win something this season after conference day. It's something that Chelsea would want to do over there for themselves. Given everything that's going on, we'll wait to see how things will go on from Chelsea Football Club and the kind of things that they want to see. I mean, Chelsea look like they are on the right track. They look like they are doing things the right way. I'm saying maybe there's some positivity with the things that Chelsea wants to do and everything that they want to do. We'll see how things will turn out for them over there at Chelsea Football Club. But as it stands now, everything is probably going in the right direction for team my friend at Chelsea Football Club. And I know Victor Gyökeres has a verbal agreement in place ahead of the summer. Victor Gyökeres has verbal agreements in place ahead of the summer. Over there, I'm talking about Victor Gyökeres and Kofo a panel, a person who pushing that is what can say Victor Gyökeres. I say on the clubs agree at the verbal agreement level. We want to see if it becomes a concrete agreement over there for Brentia, your friend Victor Gyökeres, and I say it's not going to be in the case over there for themselves. Then we'll see how things will turn out in that regard, given how things are going. And after the game, Reece James this week, it's been a long time. I've had frustrating 2.5 years. So happy to get a call up again and play. I saw the wall and felt like I could bend it. Thankfully, it hit the back of the net. Talking about the fact that you're struggling mentally. Saying that Unya more with injuries, now more in the club now, and now finally he has been fit again, and then he can go on and play some good football. And then of course we'll beat my come and the team, your friend at Chelsea Football Club, and other ones as well over there for themselves. Of course, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. This is where we draw the curtain on this morning's edition. And me somewhere around 11, 12, we'll bring you some more. 2, 3 p.m. There's also some more I'll put in also later in the day. There is some more analysis of bro. Our hound Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, turn on Michelle, choose all, and do take care. Bye bye.